Welcome to New South Outdoors. I'm Vicky Wiegand. This week we'll be taking a transport kayak trip to Ochlockonee Bay with Captain Mike McNamara of St. Mark's Outfitters. Check it out how Mike puts us on these redfish.
We're in the middle of Appalachia Bay and we're fishing a rock pile. Appalachia Bay is full of random rock piles because the bait have a tendency to gather around the rock pile for cover. Predator fish, the redfish and trout, and that's basically what we're targeting right now. Yeah, they have a tendency to stay around the rock piles. So you're gonna have a white stake and you can fish maybe down one, we fish down one side of the white stake, and then we might turn around and come back and stay away from the rocks and get out so you don't spook them. Yeah. And we might come down and fish the other side of the white stake. There's a school of redfish, they're there. Just can we sneak up on them to catch them? The kayak itself, we're gonna put it in the water, we're gonna get you in it, we're gonna adjust your seat. I'll show you how to put the pedal thing in there. These are native watercraft kayaks, so they have reverse. Okay. Okay, the Hobie's forward, yeah. These actually have reverse, so you'll be able to go backwards and forwards. Really easy to use. There's a little rudder deal on the left and right, so you're gonna be able to pedal and steer left and right. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is when I drop you off, when we anchor the boat and I drop you off, you can come out here and get in the kayak and do some circles and play. And then when you feel, then we'll go in and fish. All right. Yeah, the bull sharks will chase your redfish. Oh. Top water especially. Oh, yeah. Top water.
We've had spinner sharks come out of the water after a top water and just right in there.
Well, this is a native watercraft, and native watercraft is a pedal craft. So it's got the trolling motor pedal on it. I say trolling motor, but it's got forward and reverse. So once you lock it in, it's real simple to lock in, and once you lock it in and you've got your seat adjusted, the trolling motor slips through the center of the boat. There's another locking pin on the back. You pop it down. It's that easy. It's locked. For some reason, if you need to pull it, you need to pull your pin. Pull your pin back, rotate it back up. So you have the option of paddle and the pedal. It goes right in, push down, locking pin. Pretty simple.
Not a bad thing.
We got a landing net. We're gonna put a paddle on it. And on our paddle, on the side of the kayak over here, there's a paddle clip, but there's also a paddle leash.
Lots of gadgets.
You take your Velcro enclosure, put it in the center of your paddle, strap your paddle down, and what that does is, sometimes when we're fishing and we're pedaling, you catch a fish, what do you do with your paddle? And then you just throw it in the water. So you don't have to worry about your paddle, it can't go anywhere. Plus it's tidal out here, so sometimes in a current, if you would accidentally drop your paddle, you need to have your leash on there just so you can get it back. And so we get out there and
just play around
make
with
a few circles. You're going to see that it's pretty stable. Kind of play with it just for a few minutes. And we'll get the other kayak in the water and let you play. And also take your time, and if you catch a redfish, kind of back out of that area a little bit, because there could be more sitting where you caught that one. Cool thing about the jerk baits is they catch flounder, trout, and redfish. If you're throwing the spoon, there's a chance of trout, but mostly redfish, and probably no chance of flounder. There was a bunch of little reds here yesterday too, outside the big ones. Could be fish anywhere out in front of you. What she's doing in her kayak is working the edge of the rock pile and mostly fan casting in front of her, trying not to spook the fish. But she's casting in front and trying to check points, trying to check sand holes. She's fishing a gold spoon, which is a great redfish bait for out here. And she's just slowly working around the edges to see if she can find some redfish. The kayak definitely is a little more stealthy than a boat, but also it slows you down a little bit and gives you a little more fishing time. Gives you a little more time to get your lure in the water, position yourself a little better. Kayak fishing, it takes a little bit of experience and you got to get out there and play with the ability to move your kayak around. But at the same time, once you get it down, it's a really nice way to sneak into a spot and catch fish. Sometimes fishing these rock piles is about just being able to maneuver around the rock pile and being methodical and check the points. There's fish here. You just got to be able to work the edges and catch the fish. I'm in a boat, even though I'm using a trolling motor. Sometimes it's a little harder. In the kayak, it can be easier. Plus, just kayak fishing is more fun. You're on a water level. There's a difference between catching a fish in a boat and catching one in the kayak. I have people that have been catching redfish, and I've been catching redfish my whole life out of the boat. You get a different feel in a kayak. You're on water level. It's new. It's new again. If you're used to catching fish and you go to kayak fishing, if you're used to boat fishing and switch to kayak fishing, it kind of puts the spark back in your fishing. Kayak prices are going down. There's differences in quality of kayaks. A good kayak nowadays, once you get it rigged, just a paddle type kayak, can cost you up to $1,000 to be rigged and ready to go. The good thing about it, it's made out of plastic and it'll never deteriorate. It's simple, it's easy, no motor, no gas. You throw your kayak in your truck and you go fish. So you can keep it as simple as you want. The kayaks that they're in today are the new Mariners by Native, and they're actually the pedal drive. And when you get into pedal drive kayaks, you're kind of taking it up another notch. And a kayak like that, you could spend $2,000. They're great for open water though. What they're doing here is perfect. You can see Vicky's out there and she can, instead of having to put the paddle down and grab the rod and put the paddle down and grab the rod, she's able to maneuver a boat, fish. In reality, what that's doing is giving her more fishing time and more time to keep her lure in the water or bait in the water, and the more fishing time she gets, the better chance she has catching a fish.
No luck. Not biting right now. What's next? Find another spot, get the redfish to eat.
We got an explosion over there. I told you that was a school of redfish. Now high stick them, bring them on the other side of your boat. All right guys, you kind of know what this is, but we're in a nice, hot, slick water summer pattern here. There's rocks all out to the right, probably 50 or 100 yards, but that whole general area is the area that we're gonna sneak up, try to target with kayaks.
Should we throw spoons?
Spoons will be fine. I'm gonna give you a jerk bait and let you bounce it. The good thing again about bouncing that jerk bait is flounder, trout, and redfish all eat it. So if you're throwing a spoon, good chance of catching redfish, but you might miss the others.
Yeah.
So that's why I fish jerk baits. All right, you ready to go? Just remember when you get to that little ripple I seen, that's a chunk of rock. It's a rock as big as my boat. Stay to the right of it, hide behind it, and cast back to the left.
All right.
And the redfish should be in that little hole over there. It's almost 10 o'clock, and it is absolutely no wind. We're at a dead tide, which is really the worst fishing conditions we could have, is no wind and no tide. It's got to be 95% humidity. It's just a hot, still day. You can see anything that moves on the water right now, you're going to be able to see, whether it be bait fish or schools of redfish, tarpon rolling, you'll be able to see it all today. What we need is to increase our chances to catching fish. We need the current to pick up, even a little wind across the top of the water to give it a little chop. Will increase the bite. Just makes the bait fish move a little bit and gives us more of an advantage. Look, we got an explosion over there. I told you that was a school of redfish. Now high stick them, bring them on the other side of your boat.
Other side?
Yeah, bring them around your boat. Swing them around. He's gonna calm down. Swing them around so you can get your net in your hand.
Do I have?
Okay, there you go.
Should I just?
It's right there.
Can I just grab
There you go. Grab them. Awesome. Freaking awesome.
All
yeah,
right.
you hooked up over there, so we got a double going now.
St. Mark's redfish.
I told you that was a school.
Doesn't get much better.
Oh, she had you beat, I believe. She has you beat.
I can see the school right up there. It's so calm, you can see everything. There's something right here too.
The fish here, because we're close to the river, Osceola River, tannic acid in the water, the fish here are going to be completely golden, as gold as you can find a redfish. They're going to be this gold right here. If we were to go 6 or 7 miles away, they'd lose that gold with the tannic acid. Uh-oh, here, drag. Hey, Vicky, if you get yours in, I think you got a redfish, Vicky.
I do, it's a little baby.
Yeah, he just doesn't know he was hooked yet. He was swimming to you.
Look at that.
But now we've switched from fishing rock piles just because it's so calm out here, to fishing bait schools.
You're so stealth when you're fishing these kayaks, they don't even know you're here. I've had some like this, there's a bait school right here, just hanging out.
That's the advantage of the kayak. It's small and it's quiet. And you can get right in the bait.
Oh yeah.
And catch fish.
They don't even know you're here.
He just got another strike. Uh-oh, right there. Nice, that's a trout. Yeah, he's running. Oh no, look at that jump, that's a bluefish.
It's a bluefish.
Bluefish, there you go. You gotta put the vice grips on them. When it's really bright and sunny and the fish don't eat top water, that's probably 90% of the case, but here, because we have this rock grass, which is unique to St. Mark's, and they're laying down there in the shade. So because they're laying down there in the shade all day under the grass, they don't care about coming up and hit top water. They'll come out 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 100 degrees. They're still gonna come up and hit a top water. I'm gonna go check out whatever's big in the water over here. I think it's a turtle, might be a manatee. And if it's a manatee, there's probably redfish around it. There he is, there he is, nice. I love the sound of that drag on that rod you use.
I like it too.
I use that reel, I always tell everybody, it's like putting I used to put the cards on your spokes of your bicycle, just to hear the sound. It just makes an awesome sound.
He's drumming.
One spot and he's drumming.
One spot. Got one on the other side too. Perfect. Beautiful St. Mark's redfish.
Perfect.
I'll take that. I'll take it all day.
I'm gonna go check out whatever's big in the water over here. I think it's a turtle, might be a manatee. And if it's a manatee, there's probably redfish around it. So we'll be back. We'll be over there. Oh no, there's a manatee there. That's a manatee, Vicky. So if that's a manatee over there.
Oh yeah, what we saw earlier?
Where that thing popped up, kind of work your way over to it. And I would bet there's a big school of redfish following his tail. Hey, you got a manatee following your boat.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool. You see the remora on the back of him? That is so cool. Oh my gosh. I've never been that close to a manatee. Oh, he feels so cool. Oh my gosh, look at his tail. He's gigantic. How much do you think he weighs?
He's not nearly, he's probably half the size of what he can be.
Oh my gosh. That was awesome.
They're trying to get it off. They're like trying to eat it from the other ones.
How neat. I tried to stick it in the boat, but he wouldn't stick.
And that's Mom, and Mom's a good 800 pounds. See, that's Mom, and what Mom's doing is the baby staying underneath her tail. Look, watch, you can see the baby. See him on the other side just come up? That's the baby. He don't weigh 40 pounds. Mom's 800, baby's 50. Cool stuff happens every day.
You gotta be out here to see it. Get out of my way.
Right there, Vicky, right about there. Start casting and fishing forward.
Okay.
And you're gonna run into a big rock. And that's where your mullet are at, is on that rock.
Daniel, there's like 5 of them with it.
There you go. Listen to
There's
your captain.
5 of them hanging out here with him.
Yes.
The same size. They're huge. Oh, look at that! Look at that! All right, double hookup. This is a nice
That's
red.
a nice red. I could hear my drag singing from here. I know it was a good red.
He's got some really cool spots. He's got 2 on the end here, 1 up here, 1 here.
That's a nice redfish.
It's a nice redfish.
That's an upper slot redfish.
You think he's slot?
Yeah,
Probably
is,
just
barely.
He's probably a good tournament fish.
Yeah, 5 to 6 pounds plus, 6.5 maybe.
Welcome to New South Outdoors. We're here today with Captain Mike with St. Mark's Outfitters. We had a great day out on the water this morning. We went kayak fishing. Captain Mike put us on some great redfish. Can you tell us a little bit about what we did today?
Well, we started out and we're fishing the grass flats inside Appalachia Bay, and our intentions are to take the boat out there in the kayaks. We do transport trips. So we got 2 kayaks loaded in the boat. We take you out to the bay, which would be inaccessible. You couldn't paddle there, so we're kind of in the backcountry part. I take you to where I think the fish are. We launch our kayaks and we paddle out, and I kind of point you in a direction and go. First spot we stopped didn't work out so well, but the second spot was.
Oh, we were on them.
It was
big
great.
Time.
So it was fun.
You pointed us right to where those schools were.
Right.
They just hung out there on those rocks.
That's what we're doing. It was kind of cool with doing a transport trip with the, I got the trolling motor and I can stand up front and I can put my kayakers out there and I can kind of follow behind them in the skiff and kind of coach you into the directions of where I think I would fish, and usually turns out to great fishing trips.
Yeah, those kayaks you have are awesome.
Right.
They work so well. I didn't pick up the paddle once. I just used the foot
No, that was
pedals.
awesome. And you guys fell right into it. You're using it real well. You learned to just within a matter of minutes. You learned how to use it.
We had a great coach.
That was cool. That you got in, you took off, you went, and you caught fish.
We did.
So, good anglers too. Good anglers catch fish. So it was awesome to see you out there and me be able to point to a spot and you be able to catch that fish. That was awesome. It was a good day.
Well, we got on some manatees and we caught a bunch of remoras off of them, and I actually was able to touch one of the manatees. He got so close to my kayak. I just reached out. He was really, really like leathery. He was really neat.
That's what's cool about being out in Appalachia Bay. Every day I'm out there, I see new stuff. So you never know what you're going to find. There's always something cool. But we have manatees and they're out there on the flats, on the grass flats in the salt water. They're moving across the flats, and this is just in theory, of course. But they move across the flats, and as they move and their tails are moving, they stir up a bunch of, and they're feeding in the grass, and they're kicking dirt up, and they're stirring up shrimp and crustaceans and crabs. And the school of redfish will actually get on the manatees, sometimes underneath them, but they'll be really close in the vicinity of the manatees because they're kicking up mud and ringing the dinner bell for them. So sometimes when you see a school of manatees on the flats, it's always worth going to check them out.
Well, Mike, you got a good thing going on with these kayak transport trips. Can you tell us a little bit about St. Mark's Outfitters?
Yeah, I sure can. Basically what we're doing as a guide service is not only do I fish out of the boat, but the kayak is kind of special to me because not only do we do transport trips and shore launch trips, but St. Mark's Outfitters has a kayak fishing school. So to be able to come in for 2 days or a day and come in and for someone that's never been in a kayak before, to teach them in and go through the ACA kayak class and get them comfortable in their kayak. Not that you needed it today. We jumped right in today and we went after fish, and that was cool. But to take somebody who's a little uneasy about being in a kayak and get them comfortable with the kayak, and then take them out on the flats, and me being in a boat, I can kind of coach you around a little bit and help you with your casting and help you with catching fish. And it really turns into a top-notch way to learn to kayak fish and get used to your kayak and all your gear. And I'm there to help you if you need me, so it all works out real well. You can find me at stmarksoutfitters.com. Just Google stmarksoutfitters.com. You can find us there. Some of the trips and everything's listed right there, but if not, call me. Phone number is going to be on the bottom of the screen.
Well, Mike, I had a great time fishing with you today. You put us on some redfish.
I had a great time. I had a great time seeing you guys catch fish.
We'll see you next week on New South Outdoors.
Hey, want to know a secret? For our family's money, vacations don't get any better than Florida's Forgotten Coast. Over here, in Gulf County, where it's like Florida used to be, with amazing pet-friendly beaches, about 1 million different ways to enjoy the clean, calm waters, live music, great festivals, fresh seafood. It's the place we come to take it easier. Plan your vacation at visitgolf.com, but let's keep it between us.
You know, there's an old saying in Florida that the further north you go, the further south you get. Florida's Panhandle is a perfect example of that relaxing southern charm. Until you go fishing. The Panhandle has everything an angler could want. Fishing from a charter or the shore. Little fish, big fish, it's all here and it's all exciting. Florida's Panhandle, a great place to visit and definitely a great place to fish. Florida, the fishing capital of the world.